Are you looking for creative and meaningful ways to keep your kids', your family's hearts, minds, and hands engaged in the Advent season and the true meaning of Christmas that don't break the bank? This video is for you. I have 3 budget-friendly ideas to celebrate Advent with your kids and family this December. So number 1 is get an Advent wreath. You can get Advent wreath candles for $6-7 off Amazon, and you can make your own Advent wreath. I have a sister who made her own Advent wreath one year out of an egg carton. I'm sure Pinterest is full of ideas and DIY Advent wreaths. You can buy one if you want to, but if you don't want to spend the money, you can definitely make your own. There's just something about rituals that really draw us in spiritually and impress upon our minds, what is going on here? What's happening? What is the significance? And you see that like the stunning visual of the Advent wreath. And even when the Advent wreath isn't lit, it is just kind of on your table or counter, it's that constant reminder throughout the day of, what season are we celebrating? What are we looking forward to on Christmas Day? Now there are 4 candles on the Advent wreath, 3 purple or violet, which is more liturgically correct to say, and 1 pink or rose candle. The rose candle is for the 3rd Sunday of Advent, which is Gaudete Sunday. Gaudete Sunday means Rejoice Sunday. So it's kind of this little burst of expectant joy, sort of right before the end, sort of right before the big feast. And the other candles are violet because that is the penitential color, and because Advent is a penitential season. My second suggestion is make an O antiphon banner with your kids. Now, what are the O antiphons? The O antiphons are 7 messianic titles taken from Scripture for Jesus. Some of them include Key of David, Emmanuel, God with us, Root of Jesse, and these 7 titles are celebrated kind of in the 7 days leading up to Christmas. I think it's December 17th through the 23rd. The church celebrates a title for each day. And you can go on Etsy and you can pay a few dollars and get, just a ready-made printout for an O antiphon banner. Or, if you don't want to spend the money, just make your own, cut out those like pizza slice shape, pieces of paper, put one of the O antiphon titles on it and do the corresponding little picture. You can draw it yourself, have your kids color it. Key of David, put a little key on there, just like string it all together, put it on the wall. So it engages their creativity, their hands. And when they're done, there's this this visual reminder. My third suggestion is stories. Obviously, the Christmas story. And if you have a Bible already, then you're all set. And you can also, if you want to, invest in a children's Bible. My favorite, I will link down below in the description. Just get a Bible that's kind of more kid language friendly, something that they can process a little better, but you don't have to. And obviously, reading the Christmas story, Luke is the Gospel of Luke would be my first suggestion because it kind of takes you from the beginning. You get the Archangel Gabriel, his announcing the birth of Jesus to Our Lady, to Mary, and she visits Elizabeth. Elizabeth has St. John and the journey to Bethlehem. So it kind of covers, all of it. So that one's my favorite. You can also do the creation story and just kind of hit the high points of salvation history. And a good way to do that, actually, all throughout Advent, is to do the Jesse tree. There are different variations of the Jesse tree. The Jesse tree is essentially the practice of, for every day of Advent, telling a little piece of the story of salvation history, starting in Genesis with creation. And you can just Google, Jesse tree readings for each day, and it will give you like just handy dandy little, this day of Advent, you read this story and the scripture readings. So you don't have to kind of parse it out yourself. It's just kind of all there for you. The other piece of the Jesse tree is, there's a little image to go with each story. So, the fall of Adam and Eve, there's, an apple, the story of Noah's Ark, a rainbow. And so kids usually like to engage in that aspect of it by hanging like the corresponding visual ornament. The apple ornament goes on the tree this day, but you don't have to buy those. You can draw your own. You can just draw your own little little pictures. Draw the little apple, draw the rainbow. so that's another sort of arts and craft, way to engage the kids. Again, that's kind of the optional part of the story piece. You can buy your own Jesse tree ornaments. I mean, they have them on the internet. You can buy them for wherever, but that's the optional part. But definitely read those stories. You can look on YouTube or Spotify for Christmas story narrations. I just actually uploaded one of my own. It's kind of a unique narration. I took the writings of a few different saints, including Fulton Sheen, and just kind of wove them all together in a seamless, very unique narration of the Christmas story. And I think you would really like it. I'll link it at the end of this video. And that's it. There you go. Like you have your whole Advent planned. You have your to-do list, your Advent to-do list with your kids. Hopefully this helps you. Have a great, blessed Advent. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you.